next are tackling the issues of how people are paid. When it comes to having a bank account and being financially successful, of course having a bank account is an important first step. But there still are, we find, a lot of people who end up, even though they have a bank account, not always using it in the smartest way, not always using it in the most effective ways that they could be. And one of the big things that we see is that a number of people, even though they have a steady job and a bank account, are not using direct deposit, which is direct deposit compared to a paper paycheck is so much more reliable, it's so much quicker, it's actually a lot easier and gives faster access to our cash instead of depositing a check and waiting for it to clear. It's more supportive in times of emergency when we may not be able to get to work to pick up our check or go to the bank to cash it, and so on and so on. There's just a whole lot of benefits to direct deposit. Primarily for the employee, but there's actually some for the employer as well. And so one of our next initiatives is we're looking at how we can work with all the employers in San Francisco to get them to work with their staff to get everybody over to some form of electronic pay, some form of really safe, automatic, electronic payment, which is actually the way the majority of us are getting paid right now. About 80% of all the people with jobs are using direct deposit. What we want to see is what can we do to reach out to that other 20%, which is a pretty big number, and help them realize the benefits of direct deposit and electronic pay. So then one of the next programs we're looking at is a program that's our goal would be to reach out on a voluntary basis to all the employers in San Francisco and say, join us, the city, to work with moving all of your staff to some form of electronic pay. Let's do everything we can to make San Francisco the first paper paycheck-free city in the United States. Have everybody fully confident that they're getting their pay the quickest and most efficient and safest way possible, and making it the most efficient it can be for businesses. And honestly, taking advantage of the technology of the age we live in. I mean, come on, we're in the age of text messaging every 5 minutes and social networking and everything else going on. Electronic pay is starting to look almost even old-fashioned compared to a lot of other things we do with technology these days. I think there's a real incentive for us to work on getting everybody into this safe new mode of payment. We're excited about that initiative.